So, my friends, this week, mind your gut, right? That's the title of our talk this week, Embodying Core Intelligence. And we've been talking about the gut all month long. We've been exploring the mind-body connection, but especially the gut connection. What is happening in our gut? How does our gut and microbiome, all of the healthy bacterias of our gut, help us to live happier, more balanced lives? And remember, some weeks ago, I did one class on the vagus nerve, and I was sharing with you how 80% of the fibers of your gut, of the vagus nerve, 80% of those fibers communicate from the gut to your brain. And only 20% of fibers in the vagus nerve communicate from the brain to the gut. What does that tell us? It means that your gut feelings, that what you feel in your body is to be taken seriously, not just the mind. And to be mindful also when something arises within your intuition, something tells you something's a little off here, to be super mindful of communicating, of listening to your body so that your mind doesn't immediately kick in and brings you into a state of doubt. And what that looks like, what that sounds like inside is that you get a feeling about something, you're not sure, or something shows up and it's your intuition. And instead of listening to that initial sensation in your gut, the mind will come in and a doubt will usually appear. So something like, I don't know if I can really trust my gut, or no, it doesn't matter. I can take the tunnel instead of the bridge. Yeah, there won't be that much traffic. And then at the end of it, a lot of the time, what you find out is that your gut might have guided you in a better direction. So we are refining, enhancing our relationship between our gut, our microbiome, and how it relates to our brain. What's this relationship? And today in particular, I want to go deeper. So this will be our last class this month for the month of August on the relationship with the gut, the psoas, your mind, how these are interpreted, and how understanding how you are really a holistic form. You're holistic. All of these systems work together. So today we're going a little bit deeper into this psoas, this organ of perception, right? The psoas has been called an organ of perception, not just a muscle that helps you to flex or to walk, but really a very deep, important system of communication within your body. And you've heard me say these words several times in relationship to fascia, the organ of communication. Your psoas is an organ of perception. You see how we're starting to move a little bit more into this integration of core intelligence and moving away from having to identify things in pieces as separate. Now, there is use in knowing the separate pieces. I think, though, that moving forward, as we evolve into this work, we want to really look at the system and how our system works together to support us, to bring us more balance, more aliveness. And super importantly, that we develop this subtlety, this subtle relationship with how we feel as our main guide to direct our journeys, to direct our paths. So I hope this makes sense. If you're here, say hello in the comments. I would love to know who's here, who is interested in this stuff. And if you have any questions, please write a comment, ask a question. That's what we're doing here on Monday mornings. Okay, my friends, so here we go. Minding our guts, embodying core intelligence. So today we're going to embark on this journey, and it's an interplay between our mind, gut, and core intelligence. I'm moving into a different type of language today. And this integration process is really revealing a connection that shapes our well-being. It shapes our relationship with ourselves. So in order to get to the juicy stuff and to download why it's important to tap into our core intelligence, I want to start with identifying 3 gut-brain axis highlights on how our mental state impacts our gut and vice versa. So just 3 of those examples to also as a reminder, because I've talked about this before, but I like to start with illustrating how this works, mind, body, mind, and how we are in a constant dance of interrelationship. So first of all, stress and digestion. How does stress affect your digestion? Well, whether it's acute or chronic, stress always has a significant impact on your digestion. And when the brain perceives stress, it will trigger the fight, flight, or freeze control mechanism. And that releases stress hormones such as cortisol. So if you're stressed out, naturally your brain is going to start to move into that fight, flight, freeze response. And these hormones will influence the functioning, the proper functioning of your digestive system by reducing blood flow to the gut, slowing down digestion, and altering the balance of gut bacteria. And we're going to get into that in just a minute. Now, all of this will lead to symptoms like, if you ever felt indigestion, bloating, and changes in your bowel habits. So for example, if you start to get constipated at any given time, 9.9 times out of 10, it's because you have high stress in your life. And sometimes, my friends, it is unconscious stress. You're not always conscious of the stress that surrounds you. Especially, for example, I spend some time in the city, right? I live just a little bit outside of New York City. But every time I go back to the city, there's a heightened sense of awareness that naturally occurs. And that's a peak in my stress levels. Now, if I can balance those, if I am aware of them, right? My mind, body, mind connection as an integrated whole, I can easily bring myself back to center, right? I've used that example many times. Bring myself back to center and just identify that there's nothing really to be afraid of. It's just that I am on a heightened sense of awareness. Now, if your digestive discomfort is so intense, it can also move into increasing your level of anxiety. So stress, cortisol that is heightened in the body will absolutely affect the health of your digestion and of your gut. The feedback loop between the brain and your gut highlights how psychological stress can contribute to digestive issues, and digestive problems will absolutely in turn affect your mental well-being. So that's one component that can occur when your brain-gut axis is triggered by stress. Now, that will affect, as I said before, your gut bacteria, your microbiota, and your mood. The gut is home to a very complex community of microorganisms, and that is known as your microbiota. This microbiota ecosystem plays a crucial role in various aspects of health, including digestion and immune function. There's lots of research now that suggests that gut microbiota influences our mood and mental health. Well, I don't know about you, but if ever I wake up in the morning and my gut doesn't feel good, either I ate too late the night before, or I stayed up too late, or if I had a rocky sleep, I'm going to feel that in my gut, right? We feel that in our tummies, and consequently, it definitely affects my mood. So this relationship with how your gut is feeling has a direct correlation to how you show up in life. So the more we become aware of this, it's a very useful tool in order to realign and reset ourselves in the moment. This is why this relationship between being mindful of how you're feeling, allowing yourself to sense and feel at any time what emotion might arise in relationship to an environment, to a social activity, all of these will have an impact both on your gut and on your mood, on your brain. Okay, finally, mind gut connection in disorders. The gut brain axis has been implicated in several disorders where mental and digestive where mental and digestive symptoms coexist. Irritable bowel syndrome is one of those connections. Irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. So if you experience IBS, abdominal pain, bloating, and changes in your bowel habits, that also can come with anxiety and depression. How can we feel good? If we're not feeling good in our gut, it's going to be really hard to feel really happy and light in our bodies. So the mind-gut connection can create disorders if also we tend to be someone who worries a whole lot, or who has an impression that life is difficult. If we have a negative outlook on life, it's going to affect our gut, our physical body. And I say gut, but I'm really also talking about your psoas, right? So a lot of the time, the psoas, this amazing organ of perception, this huge muscle that connects upper to lower part of the body, if there's a lot of stress in your life, it's going to tighten. What happens if your psoas muscle tightens? Immediately, it's going to affect the quality of health in your back. A lot of lower back problems really stem from how tightly our psoas is held. Or if, again, we are someone who tends to be very nervous or worried or anxious, and there is a lot of anxiety going on in the world right now, which is why a lot of the solutions to this includes self-care, ritualistic self-care, which I have mentioned many, many times. Going out in nature, waking up and immediately going outside to catch the first rays or light of day. Doesn't even have to be sunny. It could be an overcast day, but to move out of your home environment, inside the house, and to go outside and breathe air. Go for a walk first thing in the morning. Very simple. Drink a very tall glass of clean water every morning. Hot water with lemon, adding a little turmeric to detoxify your body. Super simple tips that I have shared with you over the past several months that can help you to rebalance and realign your gut microbiome, and therefore assisting you with having a better mood, uplifting you. If you do these simple steps every single day, you will start to see a change in your physicality, in your sleeping hours, sleeping better, being more connected socially with others, not feeling so isolated. These are really, really foundational, fundamental ways to improve the quality of our lives that are super simple. Staying away from TV and media, especially with everything that's going on in the world right now, it doesn't mean that you can't be aware of what's occurring, but just not to be addicted to what's happening. Because there's a big theater going on in the world right now, and you get to choose which part you want to play on that stage. And my invitation to you is for you to become more and more aware of the very deep core intelligence of your body, the intelligence of your mind, body, mind, spirit, emotional connection, to see yourself as a holistic being, full of capabilities, full of aliveness, full of dreams and desires that you can actually move into and develop in your life. So it's a very important consideration to look at, well, what's working? What's positive? What can I do to increase the quality of my life today? And it really starts with your physical health. Because if you're feeling healthy in your body, inevitably you will feel better and lighter in your mind and in your brain. I hope this is making sense. And I hope this is helpful to you. So I want to kind of continue and go a little bit deeper into what is this core intelligence? Entering into the core intelligence, the harmony between your physical, emotional, and mental states. Our core intelligence addresses that very body, mind, spirit connection as a larger organic system of integrated expression. Isn't that beautiful? So when you are in relationship with these parts of you, mind, body, spirit, emotion, when you really start to look at it as this big wave of connectivity that works together, it enlivens us into becoming more astute into how to communicate more effectively. It's actually very poetic. And you know what I want to share with you is kind of this stepping away from this dualistic model of mind body. Even though I talk about mind body a lot, at the same time, to understand that I'm just breaking down the parts in order to invite you into a much greater whole to what is possible for you in your life as an integrated being. So it's really about recognizing the synergy between all of those parts of us so that we can be more connected to our somatic sensory system, which means to how we are feeling in our body. So as we explore this deeper core intelligence, and what that really means is embracing interconnectedness and the interrelationships of your systems: cardiovascular, respiratory, endocrine, lymphatic, musculoskeletal, sexual organs, sexual function, to really see it as a beautiful ecosystem, a garden of possibility of all kinds of different vegetables and fruits that really work together to create a very healthy overall system, an ecosystem of health and vitality. So, why is all of this a good idea? Well, you are starting to hear this language around harmony of integration, harmony of integration. And core intelligence is really like this beautiful result of your body, emotions, and thoughts who are joining forces and working together as a whole, working together smoothly. It's really like having this fantastic team that makes you feel alive and awesome. Another benefit from this holistic vision of core intelligence is that it breaks down the walls. So imagine not thinking of your body, feelings, and thoughts as separate puzzles, but instead to picture them as interconnected threads that weave a beautiful tapestry of your existence. Going outside, and here I would say even going more into the energetic realm, understanding that we are but one piece of this really large puzzle of what's occurring in the world, that we are part of it, it is part of us. Mother Nature is truly our mother. Without nature, without our ecosystem, we can't survive. So I want to take you outside of maybe a comfort zone of thinking, of me, myself, and I. And I'll tell you something else. When we focus significantly on ourselves, when there's this egoic perspective of my problems or my worries or what's not working out for me in my life, we call it navel gazing, right? We kind of go inside, and not the good type of inside. When we go inwardly to connect and to listen, that's different. But if we're navel gazing, right? If you're looking at your own belly button constantly and worrying about yourself, what's not working? Why am I not happy? Why can't I find the perfect partner? All of this disconnects us from the greater whole. Our minds, bodies, emotions, and our spiritual selves, right? Our spirit, what animates us, all work together, the interweaving of a beautiful tapestry that enhances our quality of life and interconnectedness. Unison of dimension. Again, language that supports this perspective of being more unified and holistic. So if you think of your body, emotions, and thoughts as friends who chat and collaborate to make your life more exciting, they are in relationship with one another. They're not solo acts. Sometimes maybe one of them speaks louder than the other, but overall, there is this unison of being in relationship with mind, body, spirit, and emotions. And that feels really good for your gut. That feels really good for your heart and for your mind. Because the truth of the matter is that we are not pieces broken up. We are a continual integration of universal movement. Even right now, as I'm speaking with you, you might feel my energy, my excitement, right? I'm into this stuff. This is very exciting. It's a very exciting way, I think, of viewing what's possible for us. So if you're feeling disconnected, if you're feeling like nothing is working in your life, a lot of the time, what is very helpful is to start to focus outward in the world. How can you bring your gifts into the world to create this unison of dimension, so that you're not just using your mind, or you're just not like shut down trying to figure out a problem, but instead you go outside and you open up and you start to see that, oh, right, there's a whole life happening out here. Plants are growing, people are moving, people are interacting. It's also a very beautiful way to live, because you start to feel more part of, right? None of us want to be on the outside. Yes, sometimes we might want quiet time, to be more reclusive. That's different. But overall, as human beings, we want to connect. We want to be this interwoven unison of tapestry, these beautiful threads that come together, that support one another, that are healthy, that are present, that are vibrant and alive. So I want you to think about this. How could you start to connect more effectively with people in your life? How could your mind start to be more in motion, and not just the mind in your head, but the mind is everywhere in your body, the same way that your heart is everywhere in your body, because we have an ecosystem of nerves. Blood is flowing through our body. We're all connected. So my heart might be in one particular part of my body anatomically, but it's really moving through my arms, my hands, my head, my torso, my belly, my gut, my legs, my feet. My heart is everywhere. Your mind is everywhere. This concept really sheds a lot of light on how your emotions and even your physical health are absolutely influenced by your brain's magical dance. So even when you have a thought, you want to allow the thought to kind of permeate throughout your body and see what it feels like. Does your body agree? Does it make your body feel good? Or is there a kink in the process? Ultimately, this work is really about becoming more and more enlivened, aware of the present moment, of this mindful awareness in this moment. So what we're saying here is that ultimately it becomes a happy dance of balance. And I'm using the analogy of dance because everything in your body right now, if you're watching me right now or in the future, just know that inside of your body, there's a very happy dance occurring. Things are connecting, even if you're not feeling your best at this very moment. Imagine your body, heart, and brain together doing a dance, because they really are. When they groove in harmony, you will feel amazing. You will feel better. But if there's a disconnect, if there is a short circuit between how you feel and what you're thinking, or if you let your mind continue to persuade you that you're not good enough, that you can't do something, that you can't apply for a certain position or school, or if you can't make friends, or if you can't connect with a family member. Remember that if you tap into your body and you breathe and you bring yourself to center, that 90% of these thoughts will disappear and that you have a chance to begin anew in a more positive and optimistic way. And it's so important to choose positivity, to really look at what's positive and what's possible for you in your life. This is all part of the mindset, which is also part of this harmonious, intricate dance of all parts of yourself. Because when things get tough, sometimes, right, you might be feeling down, it might make your body feel off a little bit. But when your core trio, right, mind, body, emotions, I'm saying a fourth one, your spirit, when they work together, they can help you turn things around to assist you into becoming more enlivened, awake, and present in this moment. And ultimately, I call this the dance of intelligence. Your core intelligence, this pharmacology of deep intelligence in your body. It's not just a single part. It's a complex dance involving all of you, your body, your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts, and all of these shape who you are. And the more you practice, they shape who you become. We are a symphony, all of us individually. As individual bodies, we are a symphony, and all of us together are this beautiful orchestra. We become an orchestra of different instruments. And if you can start to live your life from this perspective of core intelligence, take a step back when you're triggered. Take a step back when you don't feel good. Tap into your body, turn off your technology, go outside, be in the air, be in the light of day, or even in the darkness of night. And just take a moment to reset yourself. We're not going to be able, let me just say, I don't think that we're going to be able to move through increasing difficult times unless we take the time to really get to know who we are from the center of our bodies, from the deep core intelligence of who we are, to become more attuned to listening to how we're feeling, how we're sensing, to become more enlivened and awake. And we do these things by, of course, eating the proper foods, having proper conversations, listening to this type of work, which helps to give you maybe a different perspective on how all of you works together as this beautiful communication system of aliveness, of awareness. So your core intelligence is really all of you working together as a beautiful orchestration in harmonious, creating harmonious music. This is the deeper understanding of what I wanted to share with you today, for you to really embrace the idea of core intelligence, to start to see how you're not just pieces, but you are the whole. You are holistic. And the more you see yourself as holistic, the easier it will be to hear and listen those different parts of you speaking to you, and you starting to, it's like making bread, right? You put all the ingredients together and you create this magnificent, delicious, healthy, nourishing bread that helps to sustain you, your heart, your gut, your mind. And you become a more loving, a more kind, a more connected person. So I want you to explore this possibility this week until next week. And by the way, if you are interested, I posted pretty much on social media. You should have seen this here, but I'm doing a webinar tomorrow. Is that right? Is that tomorrow evening already? No, Wednesday evening. Wednesday evening, the 30th, from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern time. You can find it at the link that's on the screen right now. You can join. It's a free webinar where I'm going to talk to you about all things mind-body integration and starting to explain in more detail, what is it? What is mind-body integration? What is mind, body, mind medicine? And how can we start to evolve this language into seeing it as a form of holistic healing? In the webinar, I'm going to be breaking down the 4 modules of my upcoming program that begins on September 27th. We're going to talk about embodiment, present awareness through the mind-body lens. We're also going to talk about the art of mindful communication, how to speak from a place of nonviolence, and to become more aware of unconscious microaggressions that sometimes occur in our speech patterns. I want to invite you into learning about the philosophy of possibility, and finally, how to build community through a heart of compassion so that we can become more aligned, not just with ourselves, but of course with others, because we can never do any of this alone. We are part of communities. We are part of a group of people who support us. We support them. So on Wednesday evening from 7 to 8, I invite you to join this free webinar. There's going to be some time and space for questions if you'd like to ask questions. And also, I have a big surprise for you. If you do join the webinar, I'm offering a significant discount to my 16-week online program. So join us, stay till the end, and then be part of the possibility of joining up for the program at a very reduced price. So let's see, any other announcements? Oh yes, for the next 4 Mondays, September 4th, 11th, 18th, and 25th, for the next 4 Monday lives. If you are here with me live, I am also going to offer a very big discount on my upcoming 16-week online program that begins September 27th. So if you're interested in finding more about mind-body alignment, if you are curious to know how you can improve the quality of your life by integrating embodiment, present awareness, better communication with your loved ones, with your friends, if you want to move into a more positive and optimistic field of vision in your life, and if you want to develop that muscle of compassion and learn how to be truly happy and grounded in your body without having to look for external ways of being happy, but really learning how to go deeper within to find that really that thread, that core intelligence of happiness. Join me for the webinar and over the next 4 Mondays. And I'm going to be really offering a huge discount on the 16-week online program. My friends, thank you for being here this morning, afternoon, or evening. I welcome your feedback and your comments. You can do that on YouTube. If you know anyone who might be interested in this topic, please invite them to subscribe and invite them to the webinar on Wednesday evening. The more, the merrier. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me directly, either through Facebook, Instagram. I am on LinkedIn. I am on YouTube. I am on TikTok. I'm easy to find. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. Plus, I offer a 30-minute complimentary call for anyone who has questions or who would like to connect with me about anything that has to do with mind, body integration, and alignment. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week, Monday, September 4th already. We're moving into September. Woo. All right, my friends, take good care, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.